So we'll start with our second chapter, which is developing successful organizational and marketing strategies. And before we discuss the marketing strategies, we're going to talk about types of organization. Now, what is an organization? And you might already know this, but we're just going to go through the definition. An organization is a legal entity that consists of people who share a common mission. Now, this mission can be earning profit, it can be um, serving the society, it can be maybe working for government or whatever the mission is. So, any legal entity that has employees, that consists of people, it has employees and the CEO and different levels that we're going to talk about in in a few minutes. All of these share a common mission. Now, the first type of organization is for-profit organization. As the name suggests, these type of organizations are there to earn profit. Then we have non-profit organizations. These are ones that do not earn profit. They generally work towards a social cause or anything that benefits the society. The third type is the government agencies. These are like U.S. Commercial Service or the Department of State and so on. And these are clearly the goal, the mission is to serve the people. Now, there's something called in an industry that you probably are aware of that we should also um, talk about here. These organizations can be considered to be parts of different industries based on whatever their common mission is. For example, we can have food industry or agriculture industry or hospitality industry. All of these are industries under which we have within which we have different organizations that may be sharing a common mission within the industry itself. Now, what is a strategy and why do we need a strategy? So basically, these organizations that we are talking about, these have limited resources. There are limited human resources, limited financial resources, limited technological resources, or any other resources for that matter. Because we have limited resources, we need to create a plan. We need to create strategy as to how to do it all right. If we had unlimited resources, we do not have to worry about this. But because we have limited resources, we need to talk about strategy. What is a strategy? Is an organization's long-term course of action designed to deliver a unique customer experience while achieving its goal. So if you're a for-profit organization, your goal is to earn profit, but because this is marketing strategy, we also have to talk about customer experience. We need to deliver a unique customer experience while we are also achieving our goal. And this helps us. The strategy is a course of action that an organization takes, a short-term and a long-term course of action that comes within the marketing strategy, where we are going to provide a unique customer experience while also achieving our goal and whatever that goal is. Now, here are the levels of strategy in organizations. Starts with board of directors, then comes in the corporate level, then the strategic business unit level, and then we have the functional level where you'll see all those departments in an organization, the IT, like information systems, the first one, then finance, then research and development, marketing, manufacturing operations, and human resources. So we're going to discuss these one by one. The top ones, board of directors, basically represent shareholders, and then corporate level is the next to board of directors, which is the level in an organization where top management directs overall strategy for the entire organization. So this really corporate level is practically the top level management that's responsible for designing the overall strategy for the entire organization. For example, if we look at LG, the company LG, uh, corporate level will be responsible for designing a strategy for LG as a whole. It's going to be LG as a whole, no matter what products, all the products that the LG offers. We're not talking about those individual products, but we are talking about the company, the organization LG as a whole. The next level, strategic business unit, is a subsidiary, division, or unit of an organization that markets a set of related offerings to a clearly defined group of customers. And we'll look at the LG example again. So LG offers these products: mobile TV, kitchen appliances, laundry products, the other appliances, computers, and solar products. So now the strategic business unit is a division. you know these all of these, if you put all of these different products or all of these different um, subsidiaries or divisions under one management, it might be very difficult to manage them all together. So what really the companies do is they kind of allocate, they kind of separate them and make them different divisions and allocate different management or different leaders to those different separate divisions. So we can have, LG can have mobile as a separate subsidiary or a separate division, which can be called a strategic business unit. Then you can have, let's say, solar products separately and say that this is a separate strategic business unit. So basically, what LG is going to do is they're going to create these subsidiaries or division or unit in the organization, in the entire LG organization. They're going to create these small divisions, small units, and call them strategic business units. And these units are divided in such a way that these units have a clearly defined common customers within the unit, so that whoever is heading that SBU is, in the same, it has a focus, and he or she is targeting the same or similar type of customers. The third level is functional level, or the last level, we should say, is the functional level. And this is the level in an organization where groups of specialists actually create value for the organization. So these really are the ones, people who are working at this level are the ones who are really specialists in their jobs. And that's why we see these departments. These are IT, finance, research and development, marketing, manufacturing operations, human resources. And then in those departments, you can again have different levels. Within those departments, you can have different levels where these people are working on. But all of these departments are a part of functional level. That's really, these are the people who are creating value for the organization. So it's time for activity 4 here. What you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to write the different levels for Apple Incorporation. And like, you have the corporate level, strategic business units, and functional level. And just write in there what are those levels with reference to Apple. What's the corporate level for Apple? What are the strategic business units? What is the functional level? Now, you do not have to provide the accurate picture of it. You can just provide estimates. That means that you can just provide a best guess, educated guess that you can make, and you can do that. So you basically don't have to Google stuff. You can just provide an estimate of what you think these levels should be. So pause the video here, do this activity, and then come back. Okay, so the next topic is strategy in visionary organizations. Now, in order to strategize, in order to create strategy, in order to create the organizational strategy, and we say in visionary organizations because we are talking about strategies created by organizations that see a vision, that see, and then they want to go long term they want to be long term in the business. So we were talking about those organizations. These strategies are a combination of organizational foundation and organizational direction, and we're going to talk about all of these one by one. So starting off with organizational foundation answers our question, why does the organization exist? So we're going to talk about core values of the organization, the foundation, why does it exist, the core values. We're going to talk about mission and vision, and we're going to talk about organizational culture. So starting off with core values. What are core values? These are the fundamental, passionate, and enduring principles that guide its conduct over time. So these are, and if you think about the name itself, core values, these really are the fundamental principles on which the organization runs. And these are the principles that are going to guide the conduct of the organization over time. For example, if we look at the core values of LG Display, and I've just copy pasted it from their website, you'll see their core values are customer first, insight driven, agility, thoroughness, and open collaboration. And they also provide an explanation of, they also give us a little bit more about what these mean to them. So those are important for the foundation of an organization because these are your basic principles. These are your fundamentals that you're going to run on during the course of time. Next is mission, which is a statement of the organization's function in society that often identifies its customers, markets, products, and technologies. So basically, mission tells you what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to function is what mission tells you. Vision, on the other hand, tells you where do you see yourself. It's kind of where do you see yourself in future. So mission is kind of more specific because that's based on your kind of your day-to-day functions, but vision is a broad term wherein you see you try to capture what do you want to be in future as an organization. So you can see here the mission and vision of L School of Management at Millsaps. The mission is through experiential learning, professional development, and individualized attention. The L School of Management transforms undergraduate, graduate, and executive education students into leaders who positively impact our communities. So you see here, it really tells you the functions of the organization. It's telling you about the experiential learning, the professional development, the individualized attention. That is the kind of the step-by-step daily things that the L School is supposed to do in order to reach its vision, which is the L School of Management at Millsaps College will remain a recognized leader in providing transformative educational experiences. So this is what the vision is. It's to be a recognized leader and be known as as a college that is providing transformative educational experiences. So that's the mission, and the vision again adds to the foundation of the organization. And the last one is organizational culture, which is the set of values, ideas, attitudes, and norms of behavior that is learned and shared among the members of an organization. So this is similar to the normal culture. We've talked about culture before, and this is similar to that culture. This is similar to our culture. This is similar to your culture, where you share your set of values, ideas, and attitudes with the society you live in. Similarly, this is sharing of these values, ideas, attitudes, and norms of behavior that we share, we learn and share among the members of an organization. So it's similar to that culture. And in order to understand that better, I want you guys to go on YouTube and watch this 2 minutes and some, I think, 11 seconds video on YouTube. Just go and type in "what's it like to work at Google," and you'll see this video and pop up, and go in there, watch that, pause this video, watch that, and then come back. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about is organizational direction. And as I said, the organizational foundation tells you why does the organization exist. Now, the organizational direction tells you what will the organization do. So the foundation is why does it exist, and direction is what will this organization do. So we've talked about why. We talked about the core values, mission, vision, organizational culture, and mainly the organizational direction is based on how are things going to be handled uh, in the organization. So starting off with business model. Business model is basically the strategies an organization develops to provide value to the customer it serves. So a business really describes the clear, broad, underlying industry or market sector of an organization's offering. This model really tells us um, what can provide value to the customers, and that's what business model is about. We create a business model, which means what are we going to do to provide value to our customers. So that's the strategies involved in in there are a part of business model. Goals or objectives are the statements of an accomplishment of a task to be achieved, often by a specific time. Now, um, these are more specific, goals are more specific, where you really provide statements um, about, let's say, for example, profit. How much profit are you going to achieve? And it says by a specific time. So how much profit are you going to achieve in next year, by next year, or you're going to achieve in next 5 years? Or how much market share are you going to achieve in next 5 years? Or how much sales are you going to achieve? Or let's say, how much quality are you going to improve? Or how much customer satisfaction are you going to improve? And so on. So there can be, several different types of goals in an organization. So these are the statements of accomplishment that you want to achieve by a specific time. Now, the effectively stated goals or objectives are SMART, which is SMART, which basically means they should be, if you want to effectively achieve your goals, these should be specific. As we talked about this before, these should be specific. You should specifically say that I want to achieve 20% more profit, let's say, by next 3 years. So you have to be really, really specific of your goal, what your goal is. then it should be measurable. So if you said you want to achieve 20% more profit, that really is measurable. You can measure that. If you want to say, if you're going to say, I want to improve customer satisfaction, that's not measurable. You need to provide a number. I mean that can be measurable if you're planning to collect data every time a customer comes in. You're planning to collect data, and then you say, well, I want to improve um, the the customer satisfaction. Okay, maybe that is measurable, but really you need to focus on the measurability of the goals. Then the third one is it should be attainable. So if you are a new organization, you just started your business, and then you say, I want to be the first, I want to have the top market share in the next 5 years, is something maybe not very attainable. So you need to really know, do you go step by step for this. So you need to know where you are, and you need to um, state your goals that are attainable, that you think are going to be attainable. The fourth one is relevant. Of course, your goals should be relevant to your organization, to the context, to the product or service that you are offering. And the last one is time bound. That is, you have to say within the next year, or by next year, or within next 5 years. So there's a time that you should allocate in order to achieve your goals effectively. So SMART is what you need to do in order to state goals effectively, goals or objectives effectively. So if you combine these two, organizational foundation and organizational direction, what you achieve is organizational strategies. That is, how will the organization do it? Because you've really kind of covered that in the direction, that is, uh, the what part, the business model, and achieving how to achieve goals and objectives, and what those goals and objectives are going to be, whether it's long-term goals or short-term goals. Once you have defined all of that, you will see yourselves having created the strategies for your organization. That is, how will the organization do it? You can do it. You can create those strategies by level. That is, you can have different strategies at different levels, the corporate level, or the strategic business unit level, or the functional level. For example, you can have, for example, at corporate level, your strategy can be to write a meaningful mission and a vision statement. At functional level, it can be about sales call allocation, for example. So your strategy is going to vary by level. It's also going to be there's also going to be a variation by product in how you create strategies. That is, if you're selling a good versus you're selling a service, or you're offering a service, or you're offering an idea. Based on whatever your product is, if it is a good or a service or an idea, your strategy is going to be different. And we're going to stop here. We're going to talk about this in our next class.